Cancel.
Schweezy.
Is the blue-green message bubble really a problem in America, or is everything just a joke? As a European, I see posts quite often about shaming Android users in this war. In my country, no one uses SMS anymore, so I didn't even know about this difference. It is quite weird to judge someone based on a color, in my opinion. Okay, so basically, if you didn't know the story, if you use an iPhone, when you text other people, it's going to be like a blue message. When we text an Android user, it's a green message. I think it's, and before I go into my hatred of Android phones, with an iPhone, like if you text someone with another iPhone, it's something you're like, okay, I'm texting a legitimate phone number. This is a real person. I'm talking to a real human being. And stuff like that. So you know it's like a real human being because they have a real iPhone and stuff like that. And stuff like, oh, hey, so, if you go into a situation like you're just kind of having a rough month and like, can't pay my phone bill, and then your phone bill is like, we quit. And then you're on Wi-Fi, you can still text your friends and it's just normal. But if you have an Android user, you can't really text them. A lot of things with the Android users, though, it's just SMS text. So you have this idea that you're texting. Are you texting sometimes you feel like, are you texting a real person or are you not? Because sometimes with iPhones, like, a message was delivered to them because it will say delivered. With like anyone with an SMS phone, you're like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. Is this a fake number or not? And then, and then a lot of spam numbers are always Android. And if you try to use a dating app and a girl's like, let's move this to text. They text and it's an Android number and they're like, all right, you send this, go to this website, fill out this survey, put your credit card information in so we can get that information. I'm like, okay, here, and it's just a lot of scammers have used Android phones too, or stuff like that, because basically you can get like a Google phone number and it's going to show up as Android to most phones. But with like iPhone, like, it's a legitimate phone number. And honestly, like, I've heard a lot of people, and I mean, I've been using iPhone since 2015. Like, I'll tell you this. I got my first smartphone, I want to say 2011. I got the first Samsung Galaxy phone. And it was fucking ass. It was the worst phone I've ever used in my life. And for real,
That's rough, buddy.
it was fucking the worst phone I've ever used in my life. It would like heat up, and like I would just like try to use the GPS and the phone would crash. Like, for real, it was so bad. And like I told my parents about it, I'm like, I need a new phone or whatever. And it took forever for me to actually be able to upgrade to an iPhone. I'm like, I'm getting an iPhone, stuff like that. My mom still uses like a Samsung Galaxy phone. She's like, I don't want to use an iPhone. It's so complicated. I'm like, no, it's not. iPhones are the easiest fucking phones to use. So I was like, people are like, PC or Mac? I'm like, okay, you can make an easy argument for both. I use Logic Pro X and Final Cut Pro for every day. Every day I use those two apps. So I need a Mac for that. But PC users could like just totally justify like how cheap they could make a good computer for that. I'm like, okay, that's fine. iPhones are always going to be better than Androids for real. And stuff like that. And that's, I think, why people really justify that shit. Because like Androids are just so unreliable. Every Android is different versus like every iPhone. Like, if someone's like, hey, I have a problem with my iPhone, I can't figure it out, I could just go ahead and fix it because I try to keep up with everything I need to do with my iPhone. And everyone's like, my Android doesn't work. Like, I can't fix, even most Android users probably can't fix that shit. It's so bad. And it's like, you go to the store and like, maybe the guy will know how that Android phone works, but they'll always know how an iPhone works. So it's, yeah. So that's why green photos work. And it's just like Androids or phones are cheaper too and bad. And I always say, if she has an Android phone, that's a red flag because she's just, it's the same as saying like Android phones are a red flag, like as in girls who are like, I'm just not very good at monogamy. It's just, those are the kind of girls you're getting,
First of all, ride or die, bitch.
That works. Hey there, you just checked out a highlight from Cancel Schweezy. Thank you very much. I'm glad that you learned something and that you are now a smarter individual. Just so you know, we have full episodes and other many highlights available now. Click here for the next best thing that you can go check out as well. And make sure you press that subscribe button and press that notification bell. That way you get updated anytime we make a new post or anytime that we make a new highlight or full episode. So thank you, honk if you love butt drugs, and stay awesome.